Find yourself a booth, order up a cold one. This is the Spring Bar.
Hey everybody, welcome to Spring Bar. Glad to have you here. I am Florida Mike. Today, joined by my co-host, Lost Joe.
That's me. Hi.
You look confused.
Oh, I got to figure out what I'm drinking.
Oh, okay. Well, that is important.
See?
Yeah. Okay. We'll give you a moment.
Oh, I'm good. I got it.
I was going to say, while we give you the moment, we're going to talk about today our Watches and Wonders picks. The good, the bad, the indifferent, some ugly ones.
Mm.
And I'm going to throw a little curveball in there too, because I have a couple of picks that are not from Watches and Wonders, but have just recently been released.
Of course you do.
So we'll get into that
because
as well.
Someone didn't understand the assignment.
No, I understood the assignment, but these were also, I think, worth discussing because I know it's something that you like too. And that very rarely happens on the show where we actually kind of sort of come in line of opinion. So I felt that this was deserving of being discussed.
Oh, no, I'm curious.
Yeah. Well, we've talked about it. You probably just forgot because you don't listen when I usually speak.
I don't pay attention to you.
I know you don't. I'm used to it, as with most people around me. Well, let's get started. What do you have on the wrist, and what are you drinking today?
If you go into the file, and it should be the first thing that shows up, I have.
Oh, I see it here. Okay.
The Frederic Constant Runabout chronograph from our friend Oliver, because he borrowed. Yeah, Frederic Constant Runabout Chrono.
Mm-hmm.
He borrowed my A15 reissue and had it for a little while, and
that's right.
I got it back from him yesterday, and so then he said, "Why don't you take this one with you?" And it is.
This is different for you.
It is,
but I don't dislike it.
I don't dislike it either. It's pretty solid. It's a very well put together watch. I don't know that I agree with all of the choices that are made on it, but they work and they work together pretty well. I mean, the pushers have got this really nice kind of hobnail pattern on the outside. It's got the signed crown. The strap is decent. Oliver's made some extra holes in it because he is a petite wrist.
Yeah. So that leads me to a question here. It's always hard to get a understanding of size on his wrist because, like you said, it's very small. But on yours, what size is this case? It's fairly large,
like a 42.
Okay,
right. And so on him, it's pretty big.
Yeah,
but I mean the lugs drape pretty well, so like it fits him pretty decently. But this is a great size for me. It's a nice watch.
So I know how you feel about this, so I'm curious now that you're wearing it. The contrast stitched strap.
Oh,
how does that? Oh, okay. Well, so everything remains. You hate them.
Yeah, I mean, I understand what it is. I understand why it is. The straps coming off.
Gotcha. Okay, well that's fair. That's fair. What are you going to put on that? Because that's a gray dial.
Yeah, I've got a couple gray straps that would work. I've got a couple black straps that would work.
Okay.
Put something on it.
All right. Well, that works. I like that. It's not bad.
Better too.
And you're drinking?
I am drinking Devil's Creek Distillery California Straight Rye Whiskey from Mammoth Lakes.
Alrighty then.
Because
isn't that where you go do all your cold activities?
That's where we go snowboarding, up in that space. So they've got a couple distilleries that are up there, and this is one of my favorites. It's a nice bottle. It's a good rye.
I'll take your word for it. Well, I am wearing, as you can see right here, I know you can't really tell exactly what it is, so I'll throw it up on screen as well. My Zarek,
Really?
my
What brought,
Trappist one. Yeah.
what brought that up?
It's been a little bit since I've had it on the wrist, and I see it quite often. And I just want to start enjoying it a little bit again. I tried to get an angle to show the depth of what this watch has to offer, and even that doesn't quite do it justice.
How high is the dome on that? It's pretty big, right?
It's pretty big. I would say this rivals your mill ships. Like it's a thick dome,
Yeah.
and it's extremely difficult to take a good picture of it because you get all kinds of reflections in it.
Yeah. I get
So
that.
yeah, you're going to be disappointed. I have iced tea. I'm starting to feel a little under the weather today.
Not even the right color, man.
Yeah, I know. Like I say, feeling a little under the weather. I'm not really into drinking right now. So
That's why you need whiskey. Whiskey heals you. Good,
yeah,
good for you.
yeah. So what do you have that's new? You have new-ish,
I
sort
have
of new,
I have new.
kind of.
I have
Okay,
new. I have new.
what do you got?
You don't know about it. I
I,
haven't said anything.
no,
Okay.
I don't. Are there? Do I have to go back and find the pictures?
You can, or I can just show you.
Hold on, let me. What in the world? Okay, I'm pulling it up here.
It's a weather station, kind of, right? So it's a thermometer and a hydrometer.
Okay,
Okay.
all
And
right.
here's my problem. Because I got it, I got them both. They're both assigned,
The
German
problem is
made.
you can't tell what time it is.
Oh no, I wasn't supposed to tell what time it was.
Oh,
My
okay.
my goal was to get the hydrometer so I could put it in my humidor so I could keep track of where my cigars were because the seller made no mention of the size.
A little bigger than you expected.
A little bit bigger than I expected, right? And it came yesterday. Came yesterday morning. So that I wanted the hydrometer, and the seller contacted me after I'd put in a bid. He'd accepted the bid, and he's like, hey, I have the thermometer. If you want to put in an offer on that, I'll ship them together. I'm like, all right. So I put in a lowball bid on that, which he took, and like, okay, so I've got both of these pieces for $40. I was like, all right.
Oh,
And
so you had to buy them separately,
yeah, because it wasn't a package
but
auction.
they came mounted together.
Oh no, I mounted them. They came shipped together.
Oh, you did that.
Yeah.
Okay,
So got all
gotcha.
got all these boxes showing up yesterday, and my wife was very upset because normally she's the one that gets all the packages, and it was me instead. So
That's funny.
had all that
So it's
coming
hard to
up.
tell on the picture here. What's the size of those gauges?
Okay, well here's the size of those gauges.
Hold on.
Yeah, come
Let me
put that
stop
that
sharing.
away.
Yeah,
That's the size.
that's big.
They're pretty damn big.
That's
Like
big.
this becomes a wall mounted thing, not anything else.
I thought they were clocks.
The child thought they
Well,
were
yeah.
clocks.
You would, and they're tall too. They
Oh
stick
yeah,
up.
they're really high up. I mean, look at that.
Man, look at that.
Yeah, they're pretty big
Yeah.
suckers. So
So what size did you think they were?
I thought that they were probably pocket watch size. At least that's
Okay.
kind of the issue. I got, and that'd be about the right size for a hydrometer in a humidor or anything like that. And we are just not. We are not there. It is not that big. So
Oh, that's funny. Well, for $40 for the pair, right?
for the pair, yeah,
You got a cool novelty item
I got a little weather station to go in my house so I can tell if it's
Yeah.
raining
in your house.
in my
If
house.
it's raining in your house, you've got some bigger issues.
It's true. Other
Yeah.
other problems have arisen at that point.
Yeah.
All right. Did you get anything at all?
I have stuff. I have two stuffs.
That's right. That's right. You do have stuff. Okay.
I have stuffs.
Stuff. What do you got?
First up, I finally got an Accutron Railroad approved watch.
Yeah.
I have always admired the Railroad approved watch. I thought it was a watch that really didn't fit well into my collection. Over the years, my taste has kind of changed a little bit. Over the years, I have collected a lot of the weird quote unquote watches that I was really after. And now I'm kind of in the picking and choosing the other things that I've liked throughout the years. And the railroad watches is just kind of one of them. And then you got yours, and I got to see that, and that was really kind of cool. And so it's just kind of been in the back of my head to get one, and
Yeah.
I just decided now was time. So I wanted it to be a 214. I like the cleanliness of the 214, both the cases and the dials. Um, so that was kind of my one requirement. You and I had kind of gone back and forth on different case styles. This was one that you sent to me. So see, I do listen to you, Joe. I do take your advice. But I got it for a good deal. Put in an offer on it, and Bob's your uncle.
Well, there you go. I don't like that bracelet.
The JB Champion, the NASA Mesh, which is the bracelet that was on the astronaut for the longest time, which I put back on the small coffin link, and I like that look, and I had to sit in here, and what am I going to put it on? I think this is a good look. A lot of people think it's a good look. You, however, don't, which does not surprise me.
Yeah. I like it.
Well, it works.
This
It
is
works
a
for me.
watch.
But these are just cool. I think the hands are really cool with these. The blue hands, the red seconds hand. This is the less is more
Oh, completely.
design.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
perfect. Everything you need, nothing you don't.
It's designed completely as a wearable and watchable watch. It's something that you see, you would be looking at it for information purposes only. It needed to be highly accurate because you didn't want your trains to crash together. So,
Yeah. And what better way to do that with the tuning fork movement?
of
The
course.
most accurate movement for the time. Moving on, I have watch number two that you don't like.
Oh, yeah, that one.
I bought a Sheffield All Sport Diver 1A pre-owned. I didn't buy it new, even though new these things are underpriced really for what they are. But the Sheffields, the old skin divers of the 60s, early 70s, um, have come back, and they are in a more modern package, right? You look at it, you can tell it's not old materials. Best way I can describe this is a Seiko watch mod or an Invicta watch mod would be even more accurate. It's very similar to the Invicta Pro Diver case and bezel, right? That style. But with a nice engraved aluminum insert, sapphire crystal, Seiko automatic movement, screw down crown, 200 meters. I mean, it's got everything. FKM strap. For the money, they're fantastic. So this was a friend of mine's who I've bought many things from before. And I told him, when you're ready to sell it, let me know. I'll buy it from you. And I've been bugging him for a while. And he finally said, if you want it, you can have it. I bought it really cheap. Couldn't pass it up. I love it. Fantastic.
I don't get it.
But what is there not to get?
Well, it's too big. It's
It is not
really
too big.
derivative. It's
Oh God.
and then I'm like, what do the vintage ones cost?
I just about the same price as I paid for this, maybe a little bit less.
Okay. So why not a vintage one? It's just going to wear a little bit better too, because that looks big, man. What is it? 42, 40?
No, it's a 40.
It looks
It's a
huge
40. And why did I buy this? Because why, Joe? Why are reissues better than vintage, Joe?
because you can get them wet,
Because you can get them wet.
you know. But you don't. You have your work watch that you get wet. I don't.
So I don't get other watches wet.
I don't know, dude. I don't know. You're getting weird in your old age.
Yeah. Weird in my old age. Oh goodness.
Get
Anyway,
off my lawn.
those are my two new watches. I like them, and that's all that matters.
I hope so.
Okay, let's get into it for the people.
For the people. All right.
Watches and wonders 2025.
2025.
Who wants to go first? You want to go first? You want me to go
I can
first?
go first. I can go first. The assignment was pick your top 3 and your bottom 3.
The assignment was pick 6 watches per person.
Top
That's
3,
12
bottom
watches
3.
total.
Top 3, bottom 3.
We'd be here for hours.
No, it's gonna be quick. Watch.
Okay. So you say everything is in order. So I'm just going to pull up the first picture you've got, and we
First
are
picture
going
would be number 1.
off to the races.
Off to the
Starting
races.
with one that I actually think is kind of cool.
I like that. I like that very much. That is the Cartier tank something.
A jump hour.
Cartier tank guilloche. So it's a jump hour. It's got a crown at 12. It's got a sideways hour and a wandering minutes complication, but a jump hour. They've got 3 or 4 different versions of it in precious metal cases and things go along with that. I really, really like this watch. I think that it's excellent. I think that it's wonderful. I think that the shape is good. I think that the size is good. I'm happy with that. I like that a lot.
I agree with you. I think it's really cool. It's been a while since we've seen a very basic jump hour like this. I think this was one of the very unexpected surprise releases of the show this year, by far.
I think so. I think so too.
I don't think anybody saw this one coming.
And because it's asymmetric, I think that makes it a little bit more interesting than because the other ones are more symmetric. It's got the hour aperture at 12 and then the wandering minutes at 6. And so it may be a little bit more of a symmetrical case, but I like the asymmetry of this one. That appeals to me. I like it.
It's very much a throwback to the late 20s, early 30s when they first came out with jump hours. It was just the windows. There really wasn't much dial decoration, if any at all. So this is really cool. I think that's in a world where we have a discussion all the time of lazy design. Something like this, again, minimalist, but it's
okay. But I did like my only real
shocking and original.
My quibble with this one is the fact that the hour is sideways, which means they're using the same hour disc that they are on the symmetrical versions, and they didn't bother to reprint the disc so that it would be vertically aligned.
Maybe, perhaps.
No, that's my bet. That's my bet because looking at the sort of the placement of it, you can see how the shape would work. That's my guess. That's my guess. And I don't know that it was an aesthetic choice. I think it was just hey, why don't we put the hour? Let's put the hole over here, see what happens, and that's what happened. But it's still really cool.
Yeah.
All right.
Next one. What do you got here? What?
Parmigiani.
I was going to say, this looks like a Parmigiani floor.
That's the skeleton. It's got sort of this green skeletonized. I really, really like that. I am not.
Why do you like that? I do not like that.
I am not a skeletonized watch fan. I think that's just really pretty. I think it's got an Art Deco appeal to it. I like the way that they've skeletonized what's going on with the bridges. I have always liked that Tonda. I think that's a great design. I think it's a great looking watch. I like the skeleton a lot. I think it's really good.
The movement itself is nice. Everything around it is a no for me.
Yeah, I can see that. Like to me, there's a real Art Deco appeal to the way that the dials have been skeletonized.
And well, not even the dial.
That works for me.
I'm not talking the dial. I'm talking the case.
Oh, you don't like the case? Oh, I love it.
That is a horribly designed case. The combination of finishes and textures are very not cohesive at all.
Love it. Absolutely love it. Absolutely love it. And
this surprises me very much.
The GMT version of that they have with that hidden hour hand. Love that watch. I think that's great. I do not care for the perpetual calendar that came out. That was the second release that they did, and that just doesn't work for me as well. but
Mm.
this this ticks most of my boxes. I think it's fantastic.
I don't get it. Are we calling this an integrated bracelet? Because there's like
They're
they're trying to
calling
make
it
it look like one, but it's
they're
not
calling it an
really.
integrated bracelet. I don't know. I don't know that I call it an integrated bracelet, but
There's very defined lugs.
uh-huh.
Yeah.
Which also one of the other reasons I like it.
But if you try to put it on a strap, it does not work.
Probably not. I would agree with that. All right.
Wow. Okay.
Next
I'm
one.
moving on. That's a top pick.
Yeah, top
Man,
pick. Top
I
pick.
hate to see what your bottom picks are. Okay.
Oh, you know. This is my third top pick. This
Okay.
is Sartori Billard by Undone Sunflower.
Studio Underdog.
Oh, sorry, Studio Underdog. Excuse me.
Yeah.
I like that. I think that's pretty. I think that that's well executed. I think that's interesting. I like the color choices. I like the way that the dial's been done. Like just about everything about that works for me.
I'll give you that. This is. Can I say this is a piece of art? Because it really kind of is.
It's really pretty.
It's really, those hands
Uh-huh.
are fantastic.
Yeah, I think that the way that this was designed, I think that the execution and the design. I mean, just look at how you've got that silver circle that goes around the sub-seconds, and then separating the minute track, which is that sort of that yellow guilloche pattern with the
Mhm.
overlay of the sunflower leaves. I think that's just fantastic, and I don't
You
think
know,
anybody saw that coming. There was no projection that was going to
no,
be.
yeah. And here's the thing. We had a conversation about Studio Underdog in one of our group chats. It seems like everything he touches right now is turning to gold.
Yeah,
He just did was it Moser? Did he do one with Moser? Who
yeah,
was it?
they did
Was
one with Moser too.
the Moser, yeah. Where he had one of his watches and Moser did one. It was the same color theme and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, the passion fruit.
The Fears.
Yeah,
He
that's
did
right.
the Fears one as well. And they're just everything he's doing is just fantastic.
Yeah.
So I like that one. I like that one a lot.
All right. And next one is an honorable mention.
Okay, what do we got here?
This is the
Okay.
LUC Chopard
Yes.
and Heritage EHG Moon.
Okay. Go ahead.
I just like it.
Explain to me why you like this watch, yet you don't like my Zarek.
I don't know. I just like it. I just like it. I like the intricacy on the dial. I like where the moon phase is. I like the subdials. I like the hands. I like the color. I like the shape. I like it. I think it's pretty.
No, that's a no for me.
That's fine.
That's a no for me, dog.
It's your turn. So why don't you bust up your bad
Well,
dogs?
we're still in your folder, so let's go to your
What I don't
bottom
like.
ones. Yeah.
Okay.
We'll keep going through.
There we
Oh
go.
gosh. Okay. All right.
Uh-huh.
I like this one.
I hate it. I hate it. I hate it with a red hot fury. This is the Breitling Top Time reissue. And I detest it.
No. Hold on. If you're gonna hate on a watch, hate appropriately. This is not a top time reissue. This is a new line under the top time name. They never called it a reissue.
Uh-huh.
This is the three hand. This is the first in-house three-hand movement for them, and they put it in a new line under the top time heading.
Yeah.
I think it's fantastic.
Hate it. Hate it. Absolutely hate it.
This is way better designed than two of your top pick watches.
Nope.
Yep.
No. Because the top time should be a 2-register chronograph. That's what the top time is.
Okay, but
It's
thing.
like when Tag Heuer reissued the Octavia as not a chronograph. No, wrong, incorrect, should not be done.
But here's the funny part: is you are okay with taking a time-only watch and wanting them to make them, being a blanket term, to make a chronograph out of it. But if you take a chronograph and you make it time only, you have a lot of heartache about that.
Yes, I do.
I think this is fantastic. I really like this one with the white outer ring. That blue for the dial is fantastic. Those hands are fantastic.
Here's the deal. I don't think it's a bad watch. I just think it's not a top time.
Well, it says top time,
Right.
therefore it
And
is.
that's wrong. Horrible
That is
design.
not wrong. That is not
Horrible.
wrong. Nope.
As
Nope.
as
Nope.
a as an individual watch, yeah, it's okay. It's okay. I think that the white track is great. I think the hand, yeah, all of the elements of it work really well together. But as soon as you start calling it a top time, it's like, no, you're wrong. Breitling, you're
No, it's
wrong.
just it's a new watch in that line.
No,
I think it's fantastic.
I think you're wrong. I think you're wrong.
No, moving on.
Moving on.
What other good watch don't you like?
Well, okay. I put this in here, and we've had the conversation. This is the Rolex Daywalker, or whatever we're calling it, right?
Daywalker. Okay.
And somebody is doing they're doing a this is a mock-up, and it's a mock-up of
This is deluxe.
yeah,
Deluxe straps.
they're like saying that they want to
Oh,
do
look, it's got my name on it. So you screenshotted this from our
from our
chat.
group chat. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's because I knew it was going to work. I think that like the case shape is okay. The movement is outstanding. The
Mhm.
integrated bracelet is kind of weird. The dial is really weird.
Mhm.
I don't care for much, but as soon as you throw it onto that rubber, it works a lot better for me. Go to the next one.
Do you have another one? Yes, you got another
Yeah.
option too,
Yeah,
right?
and that's the blue.
Yeah.
And that just kind of works.
The
But the
rubber
watch,
strap works.
I think that the metal strap on the metal bracelet, I don't like it. I don't like it at all. And I understand everything that's going on about it. I understand the integrated bracelet. I understand that Rolex is doing a callback to. I understand all of the elements that go with it. But I think that the dial on that is just kind of nasty. And I think that the 6 and 9 on it also just don't work. And so it's like, okay, there's somebody did a mock-up, and I think I put that in the group chat, where they just replaced those with baton markers, and it was a heck of a lot cleaner. Then they did one with a no date, and that was even better. It's like you clean up the dial. You can put that in, you put a Stella dial on that. You could put even stone dials or anything along those lines. And I think that that watch might be a 10. But that configuration just does not work for me at all. But the rubber certainly helps.
Okay.
Okay. Last.
We'll talk about that more later.
Okay. My last one is that.
Yeah.
That. I detest that dial. The watch
The
itself
whole
is okay.
watch. The whole thing. The
The
first
watch
time I
itself
saw
doesn't
that,
bother me.
the first time I saw that, I took my phone and I turned it upside down because I literally thought somebody posted the picture upside down. It's horrible. Like, why? Why? No,
You obviously don't have a left-handed child.
I do not.
I have a left-handed child, so for me, it's okay. I get it, but I don't like the ceramic dial. I don't like the way that you don't have much of a break between the bezel and the dial, and that particular shade of green just doesn't. I don't know. And I'm a fan of the Hulk. I'm a fan of the Kermit, but the Sprite GMT has never really done it for me. And then this I don't think is a better iteration of it. So I don't care for that.
I just don't care for that at all. Anyways,
Yeah,
yeah. Okay.
that's my takes.
Is that the last one?
That's it.
Okay. Let's get into my stuff here. The first watch I want to talk about is, surprise, surprise,
Yeah.
the land thingy.
The Daywalker.
The Daywalker, the land thingy. This is the very first time I found myself defending Rolex. Can we please, for the love of all that's holy, stop comparing this to the Tissot PRX? Rolex did not steal the PRX design. This was not meant to be a PRX, for crying out loud. This is the oyster quartz. This is a design of theirs that's what, 50 years old? And this is part of my, if you're going to hate on something, hate on it appropriately. Know what you're talking about first. This is a fantastic design. I really truly do like this one.
You like
Hand
the
on
you
heart.
like the you like the Jubilee in the middle of the.
I like the bracelet.
I
I
don't like the
I
bracelet.
think I think that flattened link Jubilee goes well with the fluted bezel. Like you, there are a few things I would change with it. Dial being number one. I would have gone with just the stick markers. I would have gotten rid of the 6 and 9. I'm okay with the date. And I would have gone with just a matte dial
Yeah,
without all the design. That honeycomb design, that I don't know where they got that from. It
it's
really
too
does not
busy.
go with anything.
I think it's
It's
too
too
busy.
busy. Yeah.
Like, and even like a brush dial, sunray finish would also probably be good for that. I'd be okay with that.
Maybe a vertical brush dial or even a horizontal brush one way, but I don't know that a sunburst would go well with this. I think that would be too much with that fluted bezel. I think a nice matte, you can even go with a gloss dial if you want to.
Yeah.
Um, but I think for the first time in a long time, Rolex hasn't added or taken away millimeters from a watch that's been overplayed for decades. They finally, and albeit it's an older design of theirs, but they updated it and modernized it a little and they brought something back. And this is, it shows a little bit of initiative on their part, and I applaud that. Credit where is due. I've put them down for so long, but this I think was really good.
Well, but okay, but now let's talk about the movement, and let's talk about, because the thing that gets me is that they've completely hidden the lead. Everybody's going to be talking about the aesthetics of the watch, and the movement has become a secondary thing, where the movement should really be what we're discussing. And the way that it's a whole new movement, it's a whole new design. It's a different escapement, and it is going to probably be a game changer for the market. And it will be something that people will try to emulate in the near future. So
I'll go with that. I don't understand how that whole movement works. I've tried watching videos and that it's far too advanced for my dumb head to wrap around to figure
right,
out,
right.
that escapement and all that. As a whole, it's just a good package. Tweak it a little bit, it will be even better.
Yeah,
But
I think a Roman dial would be killer for that.
I think that would be fantastic too. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's another great choice.
Like, as soon as they start doing dial options on that sucker,
Yeah,
it'll be fantastic. I don't disagree with you.
yeah.
But man, yeah, put that on a rubber strap. Good Lord.
But on the rubber strap, it's really good. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't mind the bracelet. I really don't. It's a great look, great taper. I mean, it's a fantastic package. My other top pick, I am a big fan of the
Oh,
Formula Ones.
that
The
was going to go
Formula,
on my list of not. I do not care for that. I do not like it.
I figured you wouldn't because I
Do
like
not.
it. I I've had a Formula One. I'm a big fan of Formula Ones. Formula One has a spot in my heart. I really do miss mine. I want to get another one. This is leaps and bounds better than that stupid Kith version they came out with first. This should have been the first release.
Okay, now hang on. Okay, we talked about that. We
We
talked
did.
about that when the Kith came out, and I said they are whetting the appetite, and there's going to be something that's coming out later, and it's going to be a big deal. They are not sitting on that design. But my issue with this one, because it's two sizes, right? There's a 40 and then there's a 36,
No, it's 38.
38, 40 and a
Yeah.
38.
Is there another size? I
I
don't think
think
there's
there's
another size.
I believe there's two sizes.
I've only heard the 38, but I
Well,
could be wrong.
everything about it just seems like it's I don't care for the fact that it's a solar movement. I don't like I don't like the size. Like the pictures that I've seen of it on the wrist, it just comes across being too big compared to what the vintage were and what the vintage looked like. And the vintage were what, 35 initially?
35.
Yeah.
It's only 3 millimeters larger, and it's still at 38, an excellent size. The one that I had was a 40, I believe. It could have been a 39. I had a fourth generation Formula One. What is your issue with the solar movement? Why don't you like that? Because if it didn't say solargraph on the dial, you would never know.
I don't know. I don't know. It seems like it's a weird thing for tag. And it seems like, okay, we're gonna steal something from Citizen. It's just a strange upgrade, if we could even call it an upgrade for them
In
having a
fairness,
solar powered watch. I don't know.
there's
It doesn't seem to fit for me.
there's other brands that have solar power watches. It's not just Citizen.
Yeah, but who thinks of anybody else except Citizen for their Eco Drive? That's it.
Well, okay, I think Seiko.
No, you don't.
I personally have some Skagans that are solar.
When you think Seiko, you think of your freaking Sheffield that's powered by Seiko, and that is not a solared watch.
Yes, but not when I think Seiko, but when I think solar watches, that
You think Eco Drive.
no, I don't think Eco
Yes,
Drive.
you do.
I'm not a big fan
Everybody
of the
is.
Eco Drive design. Okay, well, I guess I do then.
See, I told you.
I don't mind it.
That just makes this weird. It makes this sort of strange derivative thing. Because when you think about, okay, what the original ones were, what they were all quartz, right? And
Yeah.
I think that that's just fine. Why not keep it as a quartz? Why not? Why do you
Well,
have to?
it is a quartz. How is it not a quartz?
It's it. Yeah, but now we got the solar. No,
So what?
give me a battery and I'm fine.
Oh
I don't
gosh.
know.
Okay.
I don't like it.
I like it. I think they kept the spirit alive in these. There's three regular production versions, and there's going to be a bunch of limited production versions in different colors and case colors and rubber straps and things like that. This is one of the main, always available production. The only thing I don't like about this watch, and it took a little bit for me to figure out what exactly was wrong with it. Like you said, the originals were 35, these are now 38. It almost looks like the hour hand they kept at the size it was in the 35 millimeter case and just made everything bigger around it. It's the only thing that I don't like about that. However, I don't dislike it enough where I wouldn't want to buy one of these.
What's the price point? Like it's over $1,000, right?
1900.
Yeah.
1900 right now, which, as we all know, everything's going to come down in price. You'll find this cheaper in third-party
Are
retailers.
you? Are you going to find it cheaper with a 31% tariff?
Well, that's a whole nother discussion, ain't it? That's a
Mm.
whole nother discussion. Let's say in normal times you would find this cheaper, but they did it right. They priced it exactly where it should be. This has always been the entry level Tag Heuer, and it still remains that to this day. It comes in just under the Aqua Racer. It's positioned in their line perfectly. They did the redesign perfectly. I think it's a fantastic watch. I love this one. Those are my two picks from Watches and Wonders. Now I have two watches that I want to talk about that aren't from Watches and Wonders. They're from WPHH. Do you know what that is?
No.
It's the world presentation of hot horology.
Okay.
And Franck Mulet had quite a few releases in that
Wait,
show.
say that again.
Franck Mulet.
Frank Mueller.
Franck Mulet.
Okay.
Okay. I know you like this watch.
I do.
Maybe not this particular one right here on screen, but I know you like the Crazy Hours.
I love the Crazy Hours. I think that it is one of the most fun complications. The only issue
Absolutely.
I've got with those is the size. They're really big.
I'm okay with the size.
It's almost
When
like
you
what,
have
like
something as crazy as this, I'm okay with a larger
it's
size.
like 45 or something like that. I think there's a ladies version which is a little bit slimmer, and that
Yeah.
appeals to me a lot.
Yeah, they're a lot smaller, those ladies ones.
Yeah.
But for something like this, I don't mind it. The larger size just shows it off a little bit more. You get more dial space for the actual crazy hour numbers because it's usually always done in a certain theme. This is a collaboration with, uh, I'm probably going to say it wrong. He's a French artist named Gispar.
Okay.
Okay, so you can see the dial is done in a very different way. I like
Yeah.
this one. They have this in a couple different materials. There's a carbon case one. I think this black dial with all the different colored numbers on here is it's kind of, they call it the crazy hours. There's the crazy color dreams, which has all the different colors. This is kind of a great combination of the two.
Yeah.
They also did a crazy hours in what they're calling the Curvex case, and there's quite a few variations of this one as well. I think this is the best one of all of them. That is a fantastic case. I really do like that.
I think that as a designer and as a brand, I think that Frank Miller's been underplayed. I think that the Crazy Hour complication as an analog just bit of weirdness. It's a mechanical complication that has no real reason to exist, and it's just cool. Those are great. I would love to have
Yeah.
one.
Oh yeah, for sure. That's the last of my picks. Now, for what I don't like I say, I don't have pictures, but one of the watches when I saw it, I'm like, ah, no, totally missed a mark on it. Was the Black Bay Merlot?
Yeah.
I really don't like that one.
No, I don't like it either. Considering when you go back to the first releases of the Black Bay, and it was that the black dial with the smiley self the smiley at 6, and then it had that Merlot bezel, and that watch was great.
Mhm.
And that was the first iteration that they did. But the Merlot dial on that, I don't like
Yeah,
it. I don't.
I
That
don't
doesn't
I
work
don't
for
like
me.
it either. It's just it's too much, too
Yeah,
much. It's just too much color, which I know is a weird thing for me to say, but it's
very
just
odd for you.
too much.
Too much.
I just can't do it. And I'm also generally not a fan of the Black Bay as it is. I do like the one that you're referring to, the original ones, the even the
You don't wait.
blue.
You don't like the Black Bay?
I'm not a big fan of them. No, I
But
just
okay, but
for
you
some reason
hang on. You had that Invicta Pro Diver, which is essentially the same.
not a fan of Black Bay. I'm just not a
Ah,
fan of it. I don't like it. My other watch that
hang on,
I
no.
what
We need to talk about this just a little bit more. What don't you like about the Black Bay?
there's just something about it that I just cannot connect with. There's something about that watch that just doesn't work for me.
Do you
Tough
like
to
the
put my
sub?
finger on. Do I like the sub?
Yeah.
As a whole, not really. I do like the Tudor sub, the blue dial with the snowflake hands and markers. I do like that one.
All right.
It's one of those watches where if you have one, I can appreciate that you like it. It's just not for me. It's just not for me.
All right. All right. I mean, our man in Japan found a 5513
Hmm.
in the at the low tide with a metal detector. And I think that watch is just perfect.
I
I would.
think if it were me and I found that watch, I would have taken it exactly as it was, put it in a display box, and left it as that. He wants to wear it, and I get it. You're right. If you're a treasure hunter on the beach with metal detectors and you're a watch guy, the one thing that you want to find is some sort of an expensive watch, right? And he hit the jackpot, if we're being
Completely.
honest, right?
Completely.
And
I absolutely love that watch. I
he's
think that's
very excited and he
this.
wants to wear it and he wants to have the dial redone and all that kind of stuff. And I get it, and that's fine.
I don't know. I'd have the dial redone, but I would I would hang on to that. Absolutely. I think that's great. I think everything, this whole
Yeah.
story about that watch is fantastic.
But
And
it had all the growth on it and it was just dirty. And the way that he pulled it out of the sand, I would have put that in a box and just put it on the shelf. I mean, that's a story that you can't replicate the way that watch looked ever again.
true,
Yeah.
true. But but see again, I would have worn that. I would have used that. I would have everything about that watch. I absolutely 100%. I'd wear the heck out of that because that watch in particular, like you're never going to mess it up. Like if you want something that you're gonna be able to not worry about, a mill sub is going to be one for sure. No date complication. I don't know that his. I think he got rid of the fixed lugs. I would have kept the fixed lugs and just worn it on a NATO strap and been done with it, and that would have been it. So,
Yeah.
All right.
I get why he wants to wear it, but that's a once in a lifetime find.
I don't disagree.
Yeah. The other watch that I dislike is the 40 millimeter Cubitus.
You don't like that?
like, come on, guys. You took a horrible watch and you just made it horrible in a smaller package.
Well,
that
part of the complaint about that watch was the size, because it was much bigger and it's square, so it's going to wear larger. And they drop it down to 40. That makes it a little bit more wearable. However, that puts it almost right back to the Nautilus in terms of shape and size. It's like, all right, then why not just do another Nautilus?
But here's the thing: it's the same movement inside that watch. So why did it have to be so big in the first place?
Right. I don't mind the 40 millimeter. I would really like to see one. I don't know anybody that's got one, and it hasn't shown up at any of my watch meets yet. And so I would be curious if somebody did get one and brought it in just to see it and to see it and compare, because I've handled the 5711s. Mm-hmm. I like those. Those are really nice.
I like really those too. Nice. Those are fantastic. And I've said it from the beginning. The Cubitus is a 5711 that somebody just put underneath a rolling pin. Talk about the laziness of design. That's a perfect example of it. Perfect example.
I don't disagree with you. I think that to be the successor to the 5711, I think it's working off of the halo of Patek.
Mm-hmm.
And it's it's going to sell, but I don't think that that's one of their greatest hits. So who knows, man? Who knows?
I'm looking for another watch here, which as we're talking, it just popped into my head, and I'm trying to find, because everything that's on Instagram, everybody wants to do a video right now. It's very hard to find a still photo. There is another Rolex that stood out to me. And this is, believe me, very strange feeling for me to like so many Rolexes. But this new, I'm going to hold it up here, the new gold 1908.
Yeah.
That's really good. That bracelet is fantastic.
I don't like the hour hand. I don't like the aperture.
You don't like that? Hand. I don't even mind that.
Really? Oh, see, that doesn't work for me, because it seems like, okay, that's the Mercedes hand that's just been hollowed out.
Yeah.
You could do something else with it that would be better. I love the bracelet. I think that bracelet is killer.
I think that hour hand just goes perfectly with the style of this watch. It's just that old look style.
I don't like it, because to me it's too sporty. That is because I think of the Mercedes hands. I think of the lollipop hour hands that you've got on some of the vintage divers. Like, to me, that's a vintage diver hand. And then, since you and I are in the vintage space as much, that just looks like a vintage diver hand that the lume's fallen out of, to me. That's what I see when I look at that.
I mean, I get why you say that. I understand it, but I think it's a good choice. I like it. I don't mind it. That's two Rolexes that's really surprised me this year.
See, I mean, because I'm a fan of the Cellini line. I've always liked the Cellini line.
And I never really did.
No? No. Oliver and I were talking about it yesterday, and some of the vintage Cellinis, almost anything with the black dial, was just every single one of those that I saw, I'm just like, that's just great. It's a great watch. That's all I got. Got a last call?
It's my daughter's birthday tomorrow.
Oh, happy birthday.
Yeah. 17 years old.
Oh, good Lord.
Yeah, I know.
You're in trouble.
No, not really. She's a good kid. She's a good kid.
You're right.
She really is. Yeah.
You haven't had problems.
She is my baby, and she is getting older. She's growing up, And it's this. I always have a hard time with birthdays because the kids get old. Once they get old and they don't depend on you, and you know how it all goes. This birthday I'm okay with. Next year I think will be a hard one for me.
Oh, really?
18,
18?
18, hitting that adult age.
Ah, it'll be
She'll
fine.
still she'll
Just go
still need us, but because she's doing that dual enrollment program,
yeah.
she will have finished, her associate's degree, and she'll be to the point where she's ready to move to go pursue, the rest of her college career. So there's a couple different choices that she's looking at. One is local, one is not so much. So we'll see what happens. I don't know. 18 is probably going to be a difficult year for me.
Eh, it'll be fine. Just go get her arrested. It'll be great.
Or we don't.
Knock it all out. Get it all done in one fell
Yeah.
swoop. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. It'll be fine.
Or we don't. You got anything?
I got nothing. I'm getting ready to go on a big trip with my percussion. We're going to a national championship in Ohio.
I actually know I've been there, believe it or not,
To Dayton.
to WGI.
Have you?
I have. When I was in high school, I dated a girl who was in color guard.
Okay.
And I went to Dayton because they were invited, and I went and saw them perform, and everybody else perform.
Yeah.
Yep. I used
It's
to be
a
in the color guard world.
it's
To hear
a
all
it's a
about it.
it's a cool thing. So I'm doing the drumline side of it. It's going to be all right. Don't know how we're going to do. We will certainly find out.
Well,
Some
your last competition, you guys.
last competition, like color guard did well. They went to the Vegas championship, and then their championship for California is next weekend. So it'll be at the same time as the percussion one, and so it'll be a thing. It'll be a thing. But it's we're coming to the culmination of the school year. Things are wrapping up, and I will be in Ohio with 37 high school kids and not allowed to drink.
That's rough.
It's going to be rough. It's going to be
How
really,
long are
really
you there
rough.
for?
A week. We fly. We take a red eye on Monday, and we come back on
Oof.
Sunday.
On Monday
We fly
next
out.
week.
We fly to tomorrow.
Oh, you're leaving tomorrow.
I'm leaving tomorrow. We will
Oh
fly
man.
out. The flight takes off at 9 p.m. and we land in Kentucky after a layover at 9 a.m.
Oof.
Oh, sweet Jesus.
That
With
12 hours to get to
30
Kentucky.
37 high school kids plus chaperones.
Man. What do I need to do for you, Joe? How can I get you through this?
I'll send you the hotel address. I need a Bevmo drop. Oh, good Lord.
Oh man, that's rough. But it, it's good for the kids.
It's good for the kids. It's a nice
hopefully
experience for
yeah.
them. It's traveling, but the thing that's always amazing to me is that there's going to be kids that this is the first time that they've been on an airplane, first time they've been out of the state.
Really?
And oh yeah, there's going to be kids that have never traveled before. So now I got to figure out, okay, who are nervous travelers? And you and me will sit next to each other, and I'll hold your hand, and we'll
Aw,
clap.
look at you
We'll clap and cheer when the plane lands.
being such a softie. You do care, Joe.
I don't. Yeah, I do care because I don't want to freak out at 35,000 feet. Like, and if I need to hold your hand and stroke your hair to keep you calm, then we can do that. I'd rather not, but if necessary.
Pre-recording the show, you made it very clear where I stand in the ranking of people in your life.
Yes.
Okay.
Well,
Would you stroke
hang
my
on,
hair
hang
and
on,
hold my
hang on.
hand if I was about to freak out? Would you do that for me?
Let's be really clear. Let's be really clear because in the context that we were discussing this, I was talking to my wife who was off camera, and so in the ordering of people in my life, there is my wife, and there's everybody else. Just so we're clear.
But the way that you said it was, there's people in my life, and then there's you.
Yes.
So I just want to know. I just want to know if I was freaking out at 36,000 feet, would you stroke my hair too?
No, I would buy you a drink. And then I would buy you another drink. And then I would hold your nose and I would buy you another drink. And then I would wait for you to pass out.
Like the friend that you are.
There are things that I'm willing to do for you, Mike. That's it. Besides, I mean, looking at your hair right now, I don't know how much product you've got in there, and I don't have a wet nap. So
no, there's not much.
There's not much.
No,
it's not much.
It isn't. It's not at all. It's a hair paste. You don't use very much hair paste at all.
Of course it is.
Yeah.
Hair paste.
And judging by the way your hair looks, you don't know what hair paste is.
I do. I actually have some. I don't use it, but I've got some.
What? Clearly.
I teach high school. Nobody's looking at me for any of that.
Joe claims the high school. You think high school kids don't judge? Oh, come on.
Oh, I know they judge. I absolutely know they judge. It's like, but what? You're judging me? Come on. I've got pants that are older than you. What are you going to judge me for?
Oh, gosh. And on that note, Joe.
How do we get in touch, Mike?
Well, today, you and I, we make up the Spring Bar Podcast. You can find us on Instagram at the Spring Bar Podcast. You can email us to springbarpodcast@gmail.com. On a personal level, I am 120 clicks, all spelled out, one long word, 120 clicks. Joe.
Well, Taylor Youth, watch Taylor Youth, EUPH, all one word. Yeah.
Well,
that's it.
By the time this episode comes out, pray for Joe because he will have already gone through his week of.
I will return. I will return to reality, come back to real life. And have to.
He'll be all worn out.
Deal with my decisions.
Until then, cheers.
Cheers.